Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net. Check out Unregimented Mondays and Fridays on iTunes and ChristopherMedia.net. Christopher Media, let's make some noise. Christopher Media, let's make some noise. From Asthmacore Studios near Detroit, Michigan, it's Unregimented.
Gangsters, what's up, guys?
136. It's Monday. Maybe more likely Monday night. But, we're going to keep it light. Chris.
I'm Aaron.
I am Rich.
I thought you were going to go for the obvious rhyme there, Chris. I thought you were going to be like, it's 136, and my name is Chris.
Oh, no.
And tell us about how you came to get down or something. No, you know what I forgot to tell you last
episode? Get off your feet and jump around?
There you go. Yeah. What I forgot to tell you guys last episode is about how I got hit on the freeway, which was a lot of fun.
See, I've never had that happen. On the freeway, that's got to be scary shit.
It was. So, yeah, I'm just driving, and I have to confess, I wasn't driving erratic or anything. I was kind of zoning out, but I was doing like 60 at the most.
That's not a confession. I thought you were going to say, I was driving, and she hit me, and I dropped my joint.
No, I was.
That's a confession.
I was trying to light a joint at the time, which is why it was so jarring.
Sorry, go ahead.
But again, I wasn't swerving out of my lane or anything. I'm a professional. I know how to light a joint without staring at it. I had my eyes on the road the whole time. I was slow going in the middle lane, and this white sedan just kind of like flies out of nowhere. I didn't even see it in my rear view, though. And that's what kind of pissed me off, is I was like, I shouldn't have ever let that guy get the drop on me. Because usually if I'm looking, I see these assholes coming and I can accommodate. Because this was a matter of inches when this person, I guess in an attempt to go around me, just kind of knocked into the back end and bent in the panel some, and the whole back bumper's all plastic, so that bounced right back. And who gives a fuck? It's a 2003 piece of shit. I'm not worried about the body damage. It just scared the fuck out of me, though, especially when it came out of just nowhere. I was not expecting it.
So they hit you? Like, I'm trying to get this mental picture.
I don't even know exactly, unless they were, because it looked like they were coming from around me, like they were weaving in and out of traffic and went to go around me, like into the left lane and then back over.
Oh, so you got sideswiped?
But just kind of clipped. No, like the front of their bumper clipped the back of mine on the side, enough to bend the metal on the back panel there.
Okay, well, they were driving like an idiot.
They were driving like a crazy. Oh, and like did not slow down at all. I pulled over and I got off the freeway right the fuck away, only because I just wanted to relax and smoke my joint. And just like, oh fuck. I've had somebody take off. When I was 20 or something, now this was maybe a little bit more my fault, but this guy I was swerving a little bit, and this guy was driving like a freak, and he took my mirror off, and I probably took his off too. But that was the closest I ever came to like not having an actual accident, but like you got to be pretty damn close to smack mirrors like that.
Until I moved to Detroit, I'd never been in an accident. The closest I'd had was I was leaving an apartment I was staying at, and you had to side street Pete it to get to a surface street, and there was a high school there, and some smart ass high school kid. It was just getting dark. Some smart ass high school kid, as I was driving by, smacked my car with his book bag. And it was like 20, obviously it's school zone, 25 miles per hour. I thought I hit him. So, I locked him up, came to a stop, and this asshole took off. And I was like, oh, shit. Like, is this hit and run if I leave? He's running away from me. So, and then I realized when I saw the dent, I'm like, there's no way I hit that kid. That asshole hit me with his book bag because it was just fucking swinging from his arm as he was running. So,
well, that's that same dumb shit I see around here all the time. You hit a trigger today, Aaron. So, yeah, you guys get to listen to me rant about this for a second. It's fucking people will do that shit all the time. I'm in Jersey right now.
Smack other people's cars around
the river in New York. They'll cross against the fucking light, and when somebody, does what they're supposed to do, like they keep going because obviously their signal is green, light for the pedestrian says don't walk. Person walks anyway, car keeps going, doing what they're supposed to do, and the person will fucking hit him on the trunk and, yell at him and be like, what the fuck? And it's like, what do you mean? I want to stop and go like, what the fuck are you doing? You crossed against the light. Like, what the fuck is your problem? And then another God damn it, now I'm on a roll. You know what the difference? Rich, you could probably attest to this. Everyone in New York drives like an asshole. That is a given. But you know what I've realized in New York? I'm much more okay with it because in New York, the streets aren't that wide. You kind of have to drive like an asshole. That's how it is. Now, however, in fucking New Jersey, the streets are normal size, but the people still drive like assholes. And every time I come to Jersey, I just get pissed off. Like today, and this move happens all the time on both sides of the river. I see this shit all the time. Some dude pretty much, like this guy coming out of a gas station, he's trying to make a left. You know, he's trying to turn against traffic, which, fine, great. But this motherfucker today pulls out in front of me. I almost fucking hit him. Because at this point, it's like, hey, man, I got the damage waiver. Fucking, I'll get out of this shit scot-free. Fucking basically causes me to almost T-bone him because he didn't want to wait 5 fucking seconds for me to pass. Behind me, completely clear. I looked in my rearview mirror, no cars behind me. This guy fucking threatens to get T-boned because he doesn't want to wait an extra 10 fucking seconds. And this move happens all the time out here, and I don't fucking get it. I could get it if there was 20 fucking cars behind me, but I looked in my rear view, there was nobody fucking behind me. Douchebag didn't, like...
Yeah, he was like, I'll be damned if I'm going to be in last place.
Yeah, and it's like, what the fuck, dude?
Some people just can't stand being behind another car. As long as they're behind another car, they're losing. Mm-hmm. I am not winning this race. And
it's like, fuckhead, if you would have waited 5 seconds for me to go, you could have turned completely free. There would have been none of this me almost shit, because I didn't stop. He was pulling out in the intersection. He was encroaching, and I looked behind me. I'm like, fuck you, I'm going. You're going to wait 5 extra goddamn seconds so you could turn. And yeah, he honked his horn at me, and I flipped him off. I said, fuck you, dipshit. It's completely clear behind me. You didn't want to wait 5 extra seconds. Fuck you. Sorry for yelling.
Dude.
Crazy people.
I drive for a living. Believe me, I could go on and on. That's why I'm just refraining from saying a lot of things.
Because that's the thing. Like at this point, and here I'm ready to just start plowing into people. Go ahead. I'm not going to take any fucking. What are you going to tell the cop? I turned out in front of him and he hit me.
Now you're sounding crazy.
Thank you for listening, liking, and sharing Unregimented on Facebook and following Unregimented on Twitter at UnregimentedPod. If you like Unregimented, please tell a friend to visit ChristopherMedia.net. You can subscribe to Unregimented on iTunes for free just by clicking through the iTunes banner at ChristopherMedia.net. You can also show your support for Unregimented when you buy something on iTunes just by clicking through the iTunes banner at ChristopherMedia.net. It won't cost you anything extra, and it shows your support for Unregimented. While you're on iTunes, please remember to write a review and rate Unregimented 5 stars. Just click on the iTunes banner at ChristopherMedia.net. Android users can listen to Unregimented for free at ChristopherMedia.net by clicking on the Stitcher radio player on our homepage. You can also listen to Unregimented for free at TuneIn.com or by downloading their free TuneIn radio app. Don't forget, you can always listen to Unregimented for free across any platform just by going to ChristopherMedia.net. Make sure to check out all of the podcasts on ChristopherMedia.net. Mondays and Fridays, you have Unregimented. Reach us at UnregimentedPod on Twitter. Tuesdays and Fridays, you have the Weedsman Podcast. Find those guys at the Weedsman420 on Twitter. Wednesday, you have the Projection Booth, projection-booth.com, or at ProBoothCast on Twitter. Saturday, you have the Captain's Table at Captain's Podcast on Twitter. You can also check out one of our new shows, well, new to us. It's the Ugly Club Podcast. It's another movie podcast, but these guys go with more of a theme each week rather than just one movie. You can check them out at Ugly Club Podcast on Twitter or uglyclubpodcast.com. If you like Unregimented and want to show your support for Unregimented, you can donate to Christopher Media by clicking through the PayPal button at ChristopherMedia.net. If you use Amazon.com, please click through the Amazon banner at ChristopherMedia.net and bookmark the link. It won't cost you anything extra, and when you buy something, you will show your support for Unregimented. If you're looking to launch your own website, please click through the HostGator banner at ChristopherMedia.net. That's who we use to host Unregimented. When you sign up for HostGator by clicking through the banner at ChristopherMedia.net, you are helping to support Unregimented.
Hey, speaking of crazy people, what the fuck happened to Randy Quaid?
He's been crazy for a while, though, hasn't he?
My guess is drugs and or alcohol.
Have I really not given a shit about him since Independence Day?
Nobody has.
Like, or has he just not done anything at all except for grow a beard, which is apparently...
And moved to Canada.
Yeah, he moved to Canada after destroying a property that he wasn't even renting. He was squatting at some property in California, right? Did you guys are you guys aware of this story? He's wanted for felony vandalism charges from 2010, where he caused more than $5,000 in damage to a home that he was squatting at the time with his wife, Evie.
Yeah, okay. Then, I knew his wife was involved, so I just want to make sure it was the same story.
Like, is he not getting his residual checks from the vacation movies or what? Like, what's going on here?
The shitter is past full.
Yeah, I don't know if that's complete. Maybe he is hard up, but he seems crazy enough where like he would just be like, "Hey, it doesn't matter how much money you give me, I'm gonna fucking do crazy shit."
And where's his brother Dennis in all this?
Dennis is still getting over the fact that fucking Russell Crowe was balls deep in his wife when he was sitting at home fucking contemplating what happened to his career. Because he used to be married to Meg Ryan. He was like, I was
hammering
America's sweetheart, and then this fucking
But you know what, man? If you've seen Meg Ryan lately, he may have dodged a bullet.
I had a thing for Meg Ryan when she was younger and I was younger. I haven't seen her lately, so no.
Yeah, but he wasn't only getting the girl. He's been getting all the parts that Quaid used to get. He's been hammering those checks that Quaid was used to getting.
Well, I definitely excuse me.
Sorry, not Randy.
I definitely think from things I've read that Randy has a problem with handling his high. That's for damn sure. And it may just be fallout from years and years of that. I mean, there's so much shit that could fucking happen that a lot of people don't realize from certain drugs and especially booze. Booze fucks with everything in your body. That's why it sucks that it's legal, because believe me, if I could have got hold of weed when I was younger, I'd have been a pothead. I'd be your, can I please sit in on the weedman? But right. Yeah, I think he's as the old saying goes, once you're a pickle, you can never be a cucumber again.
Yeah,
I think he's went over the edge on that.
He flees to Canada and then tries to sneak back into the country, right? And is caught because they're like, "Hey, do that line about the hamburger helper. By the way, you're under arrest."
Well, him and his old lady were like ranting to police and border patrol and everybody involved that there was a group out to kill them and they were trying to assassinate them.
Oh yeah, I'm bearing the lead here, aren't I?
And I'm just like,
what's the name of the organization?
Classic paranoia.
Right, there's some secret Hollywood organization that
the Hollywood Whackers.
The Hollywood Whackers.
No, what it is, it's Doug Stanhope has his death pool going, and he's fucking sent someone out so he could collect on Randy Quaid.
Those Hollywood kids are whacking in my trailer.
And why does he look like Santa Claus now?
Right. Right there, that's how you know he's wrong. It's not the beard, I'm sorry. It's the Hollywood Whackers. Like, Randy, really? Like, there's no way they would actually call themselves that.
It's the Illuminati for fucking rich people.
Right. If it was in some way a pun, Whackers was worked in there somehow, in a punny way, then yeah, maybe.
It reminds me of that 30 Rock episode when Tracy Morgan thought, what were they called?
The Black Illuminati?
It was the Black something. And yeah, he thought they were out to kill him.
Right.
Like, I forget what it was called.
I can't remember either.
See, this is how I know Tracy Morgan's a better actor than he gets credit for, because I don't believe he's acting. Tracy Morgan seems like he'd actually believe that shit at some point. Like, he'd get hold of that wrong shit and get too paranoid.
Who the
like,
fuck
he'd
cares?
go Martin Lawrence and out, running around, they're trying to kill me in a fucking, suit, a sweatsuit, like he's trying to make weight for the high school fucking wrestling team.
I don't think he's got much time to be crazy these days.
Well, no.
He's going to be...
Tracy Morgan? He's just got time enough to be rich.
He's going to be on Saturday Night Live coming up.
Yeah, I saw that.
I'm really looking forward to seeing him.
And while we're on celebrities that can't handle their
Black
fucking
Crusaders
drugs.
By the Black Crusaders.
Crusaders.
Yeah, but while we're on the point of topic of celebrities that can't handle their high, Mr. Lamar Odom,
man,
apparently partied himself into a fucking coma.
I had no idea who this guy was, but so he plays
sports ball. Of course he does.
Yeah, sports.
He plays a sport and is married to a Kardashian, or was, or still is, or maybe not.
No. They're totally separated, but they're not legally divorced. So she's making all the decisions. They've already had a camera crew out at the hospital. They were talking about that on the radio today.
Wow.
While he's in
there's a special place. There's a special place in hell for the Kardashian clan, by the way.
And he was found at a brothel with one story that I heard. No, maybe this might just be rampant internet rumor, because I don't know how quickly they can test for these things, but he was found with every imaginable drug in his system. Now, I'm sure a lot of that.
Your heart would eventually say, "I'm done."
a little bit of exaggeration maybe upon somebody's part.
Well, what's not an exaggeration is he'd been there since Saturday, and he'd been partying hard since Saturday.
Right.
Yeah,
And they said he tested positive for coke, which I believe, because if you're fucking blowing rails and you're worth $30 million, you can fucking go days on end and still put other drugs. Coke trumps so many other drugs when you're doing it, man. So he can just keep going and going.
From the AP 3 hours ago, it says callers reported Lamar Odom had been doing cocaine sexual performance enhancers.
Ooh, coke and boner pills?
Yeah.
Man.
You just named the episode, by the way. Boom.
I shouldn't laugh, but it's like, oh my God, dude.
They call that a dick ball. Or maybe a cock and balls. I don't know.
Speed dick.
I think in England they call it a cock and balls.
Oh, speed cock.
Yeah, I heard that basically kidneys, liver, and his heart was extremely weak. So they're basically keeping him alive while family and friends, I guess, are heading out there. So they're doing the keep him alive so people could say goodbye, pretty much, which is really fucked up. But because this guy, I don't see basketball as my fucking dead zone. I'm as clueless as fucking Aaron on most people in basketball. So is he even still play, Chris? Do you know?
I think he retired a couple of years ago, and regardless, his biggest career accomplishment is marrying Khloe Kardashian.
Former NBA star and reality TV star. Is
Yeah,
what
okay, then former, that answers that.
And they interviewed Dennis Hoff.
Oh,
who owns
he was at
Love
the Bunny Ranch.
No, he was at the Love Ranch. Dennis Hoff has a couple.
Oh.
Not just one ranch. Bunny Ranch is, I think, the first and most popular one.
The Hoff.
But he was like, you're a reality TV star, so you get the Love Ranch over across town.
Air Force Amy's in the back bedroom. Go ahead.
And he was like, that's okay. I like fat bitches.
He's like, fuck Air Force Amy. Where's Isabella Soprano? That's the bitch I want.
What the fuck? Well, okay, so the Hoff said, I'm sorry, not the Hoff. That's
Hasselhoff.
That's Knight Rider. Nobody's riding Michael Knight. Why do they call it Knight Rider? Dennis Hoff said he just wanted to. He seemed like he was having a good time. He just wanted to get away and have a good time and relax. And said that he was happy and he was sleeping every night.
He was passing out probably every night. That's
right.
He lost consciousness for a period of time.
And you know what? Not to diminish the dying man's accomplishments, he did win 2 titles with the Lakers. So he won 2 titles and married a Kardashian. So
that's the dream of every black man.
Oh, I can't believe. Wait. I can't believe we talked about fucked up driving and didn't segue into the woman who periscoped herself driving drunk.
Oh,
do you guys know this
guess
story?
what state, listeners?
You can only guess. This has got to be Florida, right?
yeah. Yep.
I want to call my brother and be like, what the fuck is wrong with your home state, dude? Seriously.
An 11-minute video that went up on Periscope, which, if you're not familiar, is live streaming video that you can do through your phone. And she's like, I'm drunk. I don't want to be here. I don't know anybody. Fuck it. I'm just driving. I am fucking drunk. This is horrible. And she had enough sense to actually realize that she was being a horrible person in the act. But I don't know how many points that gets you when you still continue to drive around on a flat tire, by the way.
But what's funny too is how she got caught, because she got caught by the cops, but the cops can't get into Periscope. However, an off-duty cop saw her on Periscope and was like, "Hey guys, check this shit out."
And all that told them is somebody's out there driving like a fuckhead. So I guess it then I think they searched for like 20 minutes before they eventually found, just because, I mean, probably that she was driving on a flat tire and swerving. Which wasn't.
I'm sorry.
Sergeant Gary Gross says it was like finding a needle in the haystack, and I'm thinking, well, if you had actual patrols out, it seems like it would be a pretty obvious find. It's not hey, we were lucky to find this person that was swerving between lanes and riding on a flat tire. This is like,
and if it's on a smartphone app that pinpoints your location,
what else do you want
to needle in the haystack?
What else do you want her to do? Crash into the police station?
Yeah, no, right?
It'll come
Crash
to
at
you.
the front door. Hey, I'm here to turn myself in. Can we keep this on Periscope?
Oh man, I
initially thought of you, Aaron, of the whole why do people keep forgetting that the internet exists? Stop putting your stupid dumb shit on the internet.
I don't know. They get away with it. I think
Apparently not her.
Like this is a chick hot enough to get away. Well, yeah, she didn't get away with it this time, but I'm saying once they get away with certain behaviors or actions repeatedly, they develop an immunity to it, and they just think like, I'm not gonna get caught, or what I'm doing isn't even really wrong. Running people over is something that happens to other people. I'm special because I'm beautiful and I'm going to be somebody someday. Because
No, you're not, bitch.
Well, there's also
Gonna be inmate number whatever.
there's also
I don't know what's going to happen.
the youngins, get off my lawn. I just was reading, or no, not reading, excuse me. I was listening to NPR about this, that they have less problems with their lives being open books online because it's always been there. I mean, think about someone who's 18. Facebook's been around for 11 years for them. And I mean, you add in MySpace, Friendster, whatever the fuck was back before Facebook.
Friendster.
Well,
Was it you and 3 other people?
but
And also think about how small your world was when you were a teenager. Even then, even with the internet and the whole world at their fingertips, it doesn't mean that like they will even appreciate that. What are they going to do? I'm not going to start be a pen pal with somebody in Japan. I have access to porn and I can communicate with my friends on social media that my parents aren't aware of. That's the extent of their universe.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, the days of you possibly knowing all of the people that your children communicate with are over.
oh, no shit. I remember people flipping out over chat roulette. I'm like, wait till you actually go on it. You'll have something to flip out about.
Well,
Yeah. After you see 19 dicks.
to continue in the vein of grouchy old men, how about this story? Playboy is not going to be featuring nude models anymore.
So what do you give? Over under 10 years they fold up?
I don't know. Well, okay, so this is at the height of its publication, millions of people subscribed to Playboy, right?
All reading for the articles.
And it wasn't because it was the only porn out there. It was because that it was mixed in a way of this like gentleman culture, high class, hi-fi stereo, cigar and brandy snifter and smoking jacket type of personality that everybody wanted to aspire to be. That's why they bought into not only the boobs, but the culture.
And then Hustler came out and gave me something to aspire to be.
Right. It's like an Apple.
Look, penetration. All right.
Right. It's like an Apple product. It's sexy enough on its own, but that's not just going to sell it. You have to buy into the whole culture to really make it profitable for Apple.
Even in my maybe late teens, Playboy was like, eh.
Yeah.
It was
Right.
almost, I made a joke earlier when we were talking, about this, about, oh, so it's going to be like Maxim. But it became like Maxim, and that was well before I was, always, I could pull a phone out of my pocket and get the hardest of hardcore porn with, a few keystrokes. So
Well, yeah, I mean, I know everybody's different, but, and I'm not saying that I haven't gone back and forth in my enjoyment of pornography, but once you graduate from still pictures to moving pictures, and then with sound, of course, too, it's really hard to go back.
Yeah. and on that same vein as well, at some point when in your developmental years, a titty just ain't enough anymore. Let's you want to talk real? Let's be real.
But yeah,
at some point, okay, boobs, seen a bunch of them.
My experience with Playboy was probably mostly preteen.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
certainly if
Once
somebody
you actually
like...
entered a vagina, that was
Right.
it for magazines like Playboy. All right, get this shit out of here.
Unless
Yeah, it was the
somebody like
masturbatory
Sherilyn
starter kit.
Fenn shows up, in which case I had to actually go out and purchase a copy of that.
that's what I was going to
And
get.
then
Even
A couple days
after-
later, had to go out and purchase another copy of that.
After Playboy became like, seen it. Unless they had someone in there who I was like, oh, I've never seen her naked. No one gave a shit. And I mean,
Right.
it turned into, like, I've been in relationships with females where they come home with Playboys and be like, have you seen this? It's got so-and-so in there. And I'm, all right. And they knew better than to be like, so you turned on by this?
Right.
No.
So in
Man,
light of
no.
all that, in our future circumstance of free porn for everyone, what relevance does Playboy have anymore? They went
you could say it
from
was the,
millions of people down to, I think the number
was
that
the
I read
pioneer.
was 800,000 was their current publication. Now, it all depends
That's a
on what your
drop-off.
business model is based off of, and 800,000 could be, I mean, that's like making a comic book creator rich. Like, seriously. The
Well,
artist
I mean,
who
it's all
draws...
relative to what you're selling.
No, I know, absolutely. So, I mean, 800,000 is nothing to sneeze at, but I don't even think that's registering on what Maxim or what are the other men's magazines that are really popular lately?
Well, I think
All these
Maxim
guys-
folded. Maxim or Stuff folded a while ago.
I think it was Stuff. I think Maxim's still around.
Yeah, Maxim's still around, and they still...
Okay.
I think they certainly still have a website.
Well, all I know is when I lived in Detroit, the only magazines I saw were Weed, Guns, and like The Source or some shit, like Double XL. So to find a Maxim, like if you wanted to get
Big Ass Monthly.
yeah, no, I'm not even joking. If you wanted to get like faulty smut, where it's like kind of it's teasy type shit, where anybody can buy it. If you got money, you don't have to be 18. Yeah, it was. Those were magazines were in there, but I never saw Maxim or anything like that in the hood.
Right. So this is kind of like...
Shit, I don't even think Speedway has a magazine rack anymore.
This is like the old stripper that's a little saggy and has a C-section scar at the bachelor party saying, I'm going to put my bra back on, and everyone kind of shrugging. Like, all right, that's fine. We got all this shit going on right here. Like, shut up for a second. These two girls are eating each other out.
Yeah, but it turns into fucking Orgasmo, DVDA,
By the way, Stuff magazine still exists. Continue. Sorry.
Really?
Right.
Well, then what one fucking went under? Maybe, I don't know.
Sorry, I derailed you guys. Sorry.
The only thing the only reason that Maxim was entertaining is because when I worked security, there was one place I could go that was open late at night, and they had like Maxim People, Us, and I was like, well, I'm not gay and I'm not female, so I'm not reading People and Us. Let me grab Maxim. And I'd literally be like, check out the pictures, and then go back and read the, like, quote-unquote articles in it.
Right. Well,
That's it.
But you could also argue, too, at least for me, I've seen stuff in Maxim in the last 10 years that's made my dick far harder than anything that's been in Playboy.
Hey, absolutely.
Yeah, buddy.
Because you're seeing people that like, oh, I saw that chick on that TV show and I thought she was really hot, and here she is wearing next to nothing. And that was a lot of the draw that Playboy had that kind of kept him going for a while, is being able to have these kind of celebrity gets that they could feature on the cover. Who does anybody want to see now naked? Lady Gaga and Miley Cyrus? Well, they can pay $35 to go see him in concert and accomplish that.
Dude,
I got enough imagination to know what Katy Perry looks like completely nude. All I need is if she could just describe the size and color of her nipples, I'd be done. I wouldn't have.
I just want
My
to see the
imagination
Wendy's
would do
chick
it.
naked.
Are they?
The what chick? Did you say Arby's chick?
The Wendy's
The Wendy's chick?
Chris, I've been waiting for fucking years to hear someone finally admit they think that chick's hot.
Oh, I want to see that bitch naked.
I want to see the AT&T chick naked, even though I hate her.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Really?
banging.
Man, she's got something special up under that shirt, and she got some hips and some, yeah.
Yeah, and they always
See,
hide her
she
behind a
fucks.
counter and shit. Like I don't know, maybe because they think she's fat or something, but she's just got a banging bod.
Well, she can bring her fat ass over here anytime.
I know, right?
If that's fat, never let me fuck anything but fat chicks.
So speaking of Miley Cyrus, have you heard the latest news? You know that she's been working with Wayne Coyne in the band Flaming Lips,
Yeah.
who I am huge fans of, and the whole idea of it is kind of still blowing my mind. And now,
Can you explain it to me, though?
No.
Why?
No.
Wayne Coyne needs to make mortgage payments. Is that the name of the album?
No, he doesn't. They tour all the time. They're doing great. They've got a huge, loyal fan base. He's not some guy who like lives like a millionaire. He doesn't need money. He's doing this because he can.
Well, I remember back
I
in
don't know the
day
guy
before-
personally, but I followed his career for 2 decades now.
Well, back in the day, he's always kind of had stuff with pop stars because he had Justin Timberlake on stage a bunch of times.
He's had celebrity, like Justin Timberlake was one of the animals that was, he was hiding in a big animal costume, like a bear or some shit on stage, or I forget what it
Exactly.
was.
The shit looked like a furry convention, yeah.
Yeah, but the difference between Justin Timberlake and Miley Cyrus is, I don't know, talent.
Ooh.
Sure,
Oh, boy.
I would agree with you, but that is certainly a matter of opinion as well. And you know what? Artists who take chances don't always succeed.
Ask
Neil
Young and Lou Reed about that.
I'm not calling this project a failure, not having heard it, but I'm just saying, can't really knock a person down for failing, because then, I mean, what are you going to get? Everything that's on the radio now? Well, we know people like this song, so make it sound as much as possible like that one. But
Familiarity sells. Funny because when music's tested all the time, I think I brought this up before, like probably last year, but back when I was in radio, And I was the music director. Music's tested all the time, and people always say, we don't want to hear the same things on the radio. And then when you test songs with them, all they pick is the same shit they've heard before.
Right.
Yep.
Well, because, well, anyway, hold on a second. Because we got off on a tangent before I even got to the story here. They're doing a video together for one of their songs called, what is it, Milk, Lemonade? The Milky...
Really?
No, dude, that's Amy Schumer.
The Milky Milk is what the song's called, and they're going to be doing a concert where Miley and the band and all the audience are all naked and being sprayed with milk.
Yeah, that won't go. Can we just start filling out the sexual assault reports now?
I'm sure that everybody that's going to be involved in that is signing some sort of waiver.
There better be a fucking dry event. Like, really, it's, oh man, that just sounds like, it sounds like an insurance company's worst nightmare, especially if you're, like the company in charge of insuring the whole event.
They get away with
Or
foam
the performers.
parties. They get away with foam parties all the time. It's really no different.
Well, yeah, it is. People with foam have clothes on.
Barely, and you got foam hiding your shit, Guys are unzipping their pants and shit.
This is just one of those things that I don't see ending well. This
is gonna be your Rolling Stone minute. Like she's gonna end the new summer of love with this idea.
I mean, it's on paper it sounds like a great artistic endeavor and all that shit, but then there's that logic part of my brain that goes, yeah, this isn't going to end well.
I know what you mean.
All I know about this is that
naked people are great, and you always think the more the better. It doesn't always turn out to be the case. I'm not saying it's always bad.
She's well into her 30s, is a huge Miley Cyrus fan. I don't understand it. I don't get it. I had her try to explain it to me. I was like, is this your way of saying you're bisexual? You're coming out to me that you want to fuck her? And she's like, no, I just love her. I'm like, okay, I don't get it, whatever. But apparently there's her doing this with Wayne Coyne is drove a spike in her fan base, and it's divided them like the Red Sea. And there's a bunch of people that are like, she needs to go back to what she was doing and be wholesome and all this shit. There's other people that are going, run with it, do whatever you want, rip off Madonna's career even more, So I don't know. I just think at this point that's exactly what she's doing. She's fucking, okay, how can I stay relevant? Because let's be honest, my music isn't going to do that on its own.
Yeah, her songs suck ass. Her best song, at least from a songcraft point of view, was it's already fucking 6 years old.
Which one?
Party in the USA song.
Yeah.
From a songcraft point of view, that's her best song.
Dude, that song fucking rocks. Wrecking Ball can suck my balls.
Yeah.
Like, if I never hear that song again, I will die with a smile on my face.
I saw her do a cover of Don't Tell Me, a Madonna song off of her, I want to say, music album. And one of the few, modern Madonna songs.
She made an album of music on it?
Yeah. One of the few modern Madonna songs I like. And I was like, okay, all right, she can sing. I mean, when she chooses to. And she's smart enough to surround herself with people who keep her somewhat, it's not atonal bullshit, and so I don't know, man. I just don't get it, man. It's like I just went and saw Korn, and the opening acts were up there, and I just looked over at my buddy and said, dude, I am fucking old. He's like, why? I'm like, I don't get any of this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, it was guys with preppy haircuts and one guitar player who looked like an extra from one of the Thor movies. Fucking, and it was just, wow, 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 wow. Ooh, wow, wow. And I'm like,
it's that screamo shit.
And I'm going, this is what metal is these days?
Easy, Himdale. I think you're taking yourself a little too seriously.
I'm just like, I don't get it, man. And they're like someone I told a buddy at work, he goes, oh, it's post-hardcore. I'm like, that has post-hardcore. It has nothing to do with hardcore.
Dude,
go talk to the guys from DC and fucking tell them that is somehow related to that and find out what happens.
Post.
Yeah, exactly.
Post-serial.
I knew that the wheels had come off the metal train. I think it was in 2010 or 2011. I went to the Mayhem Festival, the summer metal festival that has supplanted Ozfest.
Yeah.
And I was there to see Slayer, and I was like at the second stage and watching all the warm-up acts, and that was the concert where I was like, I'm done. Me and metal were officially estranged because I officially now do not get it. It's just all about how fast you can play, how low you can tune your guitar, and how much you can sound like fucking Cookie Monster.
And it's mixed in with almost like this Norwegian black metal high pitched screeching singing. mean, that's what, and they mixed the two. And I'm like, these are polar opposites. And I guess it's impressive that you have range like that. That's a question, not a statement. But I'm just like, it's not like what I'm into. And here's the thing. I guess it's good I'm not into it because it's showing that now isn't that what music's supposed to be? Isn't it supposed to be, not a certain music is supposed to be for you and certain music is supposed to be for a younger generation. But I can say this, man, fucking, they're a little bit more wild with crowd surfing than I remembered, because I was on the main floor and they were putting people up and then they were throwing people at the main stage. Yeah. I mean, I was like, Jesus Christ, man. Like, that's some shit I expect to see from, like, video footage shot on a VHS from a Bad Brains show in some small club back in the, 80s, early 90s, not at the fucking State Theater. So I was
but at the same time, Rich, too, you got to remember, this is this is the look at me generation. It could be, half of these people's mindset. Maybe I'll get on the video. Maybe I'll do that. It's...
Well, that's the other thing that reminded me of how old I am. People holding up cameras to the point where I just was like, I'm not even going to bother to fucking try to be on the main floor because I can't see shit, but everybody's camera's in the air.
God.
Well, dude, have you been to a concert lately? It's no more lighters as you hold up your cell phone now. That is fucking retarded.
That's okay. Whatever, but the idea of taking video footage at a concert with your fucking iPhone and then posting it for everybody else to see and hear, which what do you see? You see a lot of lights, a lot of smoke, and some figures moving around on the screen. And what do you hear is...
Yeah.
Or the crowd noise of the people around you.
Yeah, and then one guy going, I gotta go piss.
Yeah.
I said, I'll be right back. I gotta go piss.
Hey, man, where's that joint?
No, I smoked it. I gave it to that hot chick over there.
The only thing I can say is that I do appreciate that sound has come leaps and bounds since even, I was going to say 20 years ago, but even 10 years ago, because Faith No More and Korn, love Faith No More. Korn's first album, I didn't, because that's what they played. They started with their first album, and then for the encore, they played the rest of, their hits, and then it was goodbye, see you later. I knew that whole first album, so I guess I listened to it a lot more than I remember. I must have drank that fucking memory away. But I could pick out every single fucking thing, and it was not when I go to shows 20 years ago, just, is the sound man drunk? I mean, how the fuck, do you think that sounds good? That doesn't, dude.
It's live speaker arrays. You can always be in the sweet spot. They've progressed amazingly, especially in recent years. Real quick, guys, so before we have to shut down for tonight, I did tease a story about an aunt who tried to sue her nephew, and I wanted to share that with you. I confess, just to maybe stoke a little bit of outrage from you. But this is a story that was in the New York Daily News, but it happened in Connecticut. And a woman named Jennifer Connell, 54 years old, while attending a birthday party, was hugged by her nephew, who I think at the time he was 12 years old. Yeah, this young nephew hugged her so hard that he broke her wrist, and then she sued the child for $127,000 in damages.
What was is her job like giving hand jobs, so she's dependent upon that wrist? That's a lot of money for a fucking broken wrist.
Oh no, this is the icing on the cake here. The auntie said Sean, who's the 12-year-old nephew, wrecked her social life by making it, quote, difficult to hold my hors d'oeuvres plate, unquote. And that having a bum wrist makes it difficult for her to climb the stairs to her third floor walk-up or get around Manhattan.
I'm literally just silent. I'm stupefied right now.
Well, you'd be happy to know that the jury threw her case out. I mean,
my brain short-circuiting right now.
It took them 25 minutes.
Have to spend on lawyers' fees to get to that point.
Yeah, can they counter-sue?
I hope it ruins
wasting your fucking time and money.
Dude, I wouldn't even have hired a lawyer. I'd have walked into court and been like, Your Honor, seriously? Do I even need to say it? I mean, come on.
Rich's argument. Seriously?
Like, I'll give you a hug. I'll show you I can't, she's got osteoporosis or some shit. I don't know. That's insane. So.
Yeah, is this chick like 4'10" and 65 pounds? Like.
Either that or this kid's the next fucking first-round draft pick offensive lineman or some shit at 12 years old.
If you have rough sex with her, you're going to shatter her fucking pelvis?
Oh, so anyone that sues over a broken wrist hasn't ever been fucked properly. No one's filling up that cavernous fucking hole. Oh, Jesus. Yeah,
but it kind of backs up your thing, Rich. Hampered her social life. I can't give handies like I used to.
I mean, I could see if she was a stripper or something, and that's going to cut down on the lotion dances and the VIP at La Chambre's. But Jesus Christ, man, I can't get to my third floor walk up.
And your own nephew.
I can't hold my hors d'oeuvre plate.
And your own nephew. So who are you really mad at? I bet if you search deeper, there's beef with his parents or something.
Yeah, that's going to make for interesting. I want to be a fly on the wall during that fucking Thanksgiving dinner.
Oh, come on. Somebody doesn't sue their own family member without racking up a lot of shitty attitude along the way. Yeah. A lot of ill will. Something's going wrong. I'm sure she's never been much fun. This doesn't come out of nowhere.
All I know is I have one aunt who's a Sedity committee bougie chick. So next time she's like, "Can I get a hug?" Be like, "No, I'm afraid you'll sue me." There's your excuse. I don't feel like going in the court today, so I'm good.
But who's the shitbag lawyer who took this case is the other question I have.
Hey, lawyers, somebody's got to represent. Everybody has to be represented. People who murder other people, serial killers, people that have ridiculous lawsuits against family members. Everybody's got to be represented. Somebody's got to do it.
No, but my question is just who's the fuckhead who said, "I'll take this case"?
I understand. Somebody's got to do it. It doesn't make them an asshole because they're the guy who has to take this case.
Yeah, it does.
No, it doesn't.
That's
makes
their right.
Asshole. It's the person's right when being accused.
I bet you even took it knowing it'd get thrown out. It's like, well, at least get her money.
It's a person's right when to representation when in court. So there has to be a lawyer available to do that. I'm not saying there aren't shitty lawyers out there, but you can't just because somebody takes a shitty case, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're a shitty lawyer. It might speak to the quality of his lawyering because he would take a case like this that would seem logic would dictate had no chance whatsoever.
Saying he's a shitty lawyer, saying he's got shitty ethics.
It's not about ethics. Everybody has to be represented. Lawyers
we know the law isn't about ethics. Going to family court.
No, it really isn't.
Try to talk about ethics.
You could say that our laws are derived from our ethics, but they're supposed to be completely separate when in the courtroom. And I mean, is every lawyer who's represented a serial killer or murderer a shitty person, have low moral standard that they're choosing to associate with these type of people? I mean, it's just a fucking job, and it's a job that's necessary in our country.
No, I mean, I got you. I understand.
Dude, but come on,
but at the same time,
she was given a public defender and got arrested.
No, I'm just saying you can't. Somebody's got to represent her.
Well, wait a minute. In a civil lawsuit,
I'm not saying that
she doesn't have to be represented. She could represent herself.
She's a shitty person for choosing to bring this case to court. She is a shitty person for suing her own relative.
All I know is she sounds like loads of fun at parties.
Yeah. Well, she can't carry her hors d'oeuvre tray, so not anymore.
That doesn't mean that the lawyer who took her case is a shitty person either. That's not. They're not making a poor moral choice in life. Maybe they made poor choices in their life leading up to this point where they're now representing ridiculous cases like this.
Yeah, look, maybe they're a poor lawyer for not knowing this would have been thrown out of court.
Yes, but that's not your accusation. You're mistaking that for somebody who's like, I agree with this. I'd sue my own family members. Why? I'm just the guy who's going to fight for you. That's not a lawyer's job to be. The lawyer's job is to be on your side, not necessarily agree with you. The lawyer's job is to bring effectively the case that you want brought to court.
Yeah, that's how
but a lawyer can also tell you, I'm not taking this fucking case.
Yes, they'll deny taking it because usually because it has no chance of actually winning.
Yeah, lawyers
it's not based on
you pay them to yeah, they're basically that's how come lawyers and hookers are a lot alike. You pay them to fucking be your buddy until you're done with them, then you pay them to go away.
All right, so we're not going to agree on lawyers, but here's something that maybe we can agree on. Oh wait, no, Chris doesn't give a shit about this. Rich, this is something that you and I could probably agree on is cool.
Okay.
I just read on CBR an hour ago, they have announced, that's Comic Book Resources if you don't know, they've announced in development 2 shows for Fox, one based on Legion, the son of Professor Xavier, and another based on the Hellfire Club. These are both concepts that were created by Chris Claremont for the X-Men. I thought you'd appreciate that since we were both fans of the Claremontian era.
Oh yeah, definitely. That I think it's. I mean, I know it's a longer overall arc, but the 2 episodes. Yeah, there we go. The 2 issues where the Hellfire Club actually takes the X-Men hostage and they're fucking with Jean Grey's mind. Yeah, that's like two of my favorite comic books ever if you put them back to back, because I remember reading that as a kid and was like, this Wolverine guy's badass. He's killing people in a comic book. That's awesome, so.
Right.
But
Yeah.
the Hellfire Club sounds interesting.
Wasn't that the one where Wolverine sneaks into the Hellfire Club through the tunnels and he encounters one of their guards that has kind of like the... I don't know, what were their masks like? It was just...
They looked like fucking crash test dummies.
Right, yeah. It was like almost amorphous, like featureless face.
Yeah.
But it was really like there were real guys in there, although I think if I remember my history on this correctly, they were written as real people and certainly drawn by real people. That would have been by Dave Byrne, I think.
John Byrne, yeah.
Dave Byrne, I'm thinking of Talking Heads. John Byrne.
Same as it ever was.
But when they saw Wolverine like pop his claws and take these guys apart literally, they were like, oh, wait a minute. These are like some kind of robot android things is what they are.
Well, no, because the last guy standing, there's the internal thought bubble.
Right.
And Wolverine's like, okay, one guy left. He looks scared. Let's see if I can make him feel worse. He's like, I know what you're thinking. You just saw me pop them freaky claws and take out all your boys.
The Dirty Harry. I love
and he's
it.
like, you just saw me take out all your guys, so you're probably thinking, I got 3 meters between. No, he said, no, I have 10 meters between me.
Right.
I got a full clip. I can cover that in half a second. Can you empty that clip before I get there? And the dude like drops his gun. Wolverine comes over and grabs him. He's like, you said you wouldn't kill me. I'm not gonna kill you. I'm just gonna get some info out of you. And then he fucking goes to work on him. You gotta understand,
Yeah.
Chris, for a guy who's not not into comic books, reading at it like 7 years old, I was like, that's so dope. That's the shit right there, man. Because they never had that in comic books.
Well, so yeah, we're gonna see. Possibly. I mean, this is in development, but this is also what's his name? Bryan Singer is involved in this as well.
Probably some sort of executive producer type thing, I'm guessing.
Right, but it seems likely. I mean, if he's involved and they're talking about it, I mean, let's face it, there's no stopping the comic book train. It's taken over everything, at least for the temporary.
That and fantasy and like sword and sorcery type shit, Pops watches all that shit, and anytime I come home or I'm passing through the living room, something's on. I'm like, "What show is this?" "Oh, this is this show." I'm like, "It looks like fucking a bunch of nerds ejaculated a Dungeons and Dragons manual on your TV." Right. What the fuck, man? And he's like, man. There's a bunch of comic, The Flash, Arrow, and then he starts naming all these other shows that he watches, and I'm just going, "This was nerd shit 10 years ago." I got fucked with for watching, I guess, but
well, so the Hellfire Club is going to probably appear on Fox, in which case it's probably they're going to fuck it up. I mean, I'm not getting my hopes too up for that. It doesn't appear to involve any actual X-Men. The plot that was described in this story is a person, just like maybe an undercover cop or somebody that's curious or something, kind of infiltrates the Hellfire Club and finds out that they're not just some weird bondage club, that they're actually have people with weird powers among them, and they're trying to take over the world. So who knows?
Yeah, until Fox milks the last penny they can out of X-Men and then finally gives up the ghost and sells it to Disney, they can use the term mutants instead of saying like whatever they say in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., they're not mutants, they're something else. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head.
Yeah, what sounds more interesting now, the show that's going to end up on FX is going to be Legion, who again is Professor Xavier's son, and this was a character, another Chris Claremont creation that came up in New Mutants. And the only thing that I liked better than X-Men, and even I believe the issues that we're referring to earlier, the Wolverine in the tunnel, that's before our time even.
That come out that was the Death of Phoenix arc. So that come out when we were both alive. You're older than me, so yeah.
I don't know that I was reading it. I wasn't reading that at that time. I had to go back and find those stories.
See, my dad was collecting them at that time, so I could thumb through them.
Because like the X-Men that I read in real time was the X-Men in Australia. The X-Men that moved.
Oh God, Jesus, dude! I'd already started my own collection by that point.
Right. I kind of got to them secondarily through New Mutants. And New Mutants is where Legion appears, and he's basically a schizophrenic, but because he's a mutant, he's a mutant because he's the son of mutants. Each one of his individual personality, of which there are countless, has its own power. So depending on who's in control, he could have a completely different power set.
Okay.
I don't know how far they're going to go with that. It sounds like it's going to be a little bit darker. Maybe he's just a fucked up mutant with schizophrenia, or maybe they'll go whole hog. Who knows?
I don't know.
You weren't a New Mutants fan, were you?
I have the first, I don't know, like 50 issues of, and the graphic novel that they came out of. But it was one of those things, like, that was when I was buying them just to buy them. I never really got into New Mutants, so couldn't tell you, man.
That was always my main book.
They were like Power Pack to me. I was like, really? Okay.
Right. Which is why...
having a crossover this month? I'll buy that one.
I mean, I stopped reading New Mutants when Rob Liefeld started drawing the shit. And I was just kind of like, what the fuck is this? And it kind of ruined me on superhero comics for quite some time. Outside of the occasional Batman that would sneak in, I was like, I'm reading graphic novels. What is this? Dressing up and flying around in suits.
Well, I think it's Bill Steinweg.
Sienkowitz.
Yeah, he drew a lot of the ones that I have, and you see his art.
Love his art.
Immediately know it's him. He's got that distinctive of a style.
And he was the designer of Legion, and Legion has like this really tall, crazy hair. It's kind of all spiky, but it all goes straight up. It's kind of an impossible haircut like Wolverine, where it just seems to naturally. Something about the mutant gene that tightens up around the follicles in certain ways makes your hair grow all weird. But he was also the designer of one of the absolute best New Mutants, Warlock, who was a techno-organic being that could basically had to survive by draining life from other organic material.
Yes, okay, I remember him, yeah.
And he had Magus, his big father, whose whole thing was like every generation would destroy the previous, and Warlock was like, I'm peaceful, I'm out, I don't want any part of this, and he ends up on Earth, and then Magus tracks him down and is like, if you're not going to kill me, I'm going to kill you, because I need to get a new son that's going to kill me proper like.
Oh, God, I love comic book logic.
But his design was just nothing like I'd ever seen in a comic book before, because he never was the same way. He was always shifting, and he...
Oh, yeah.
And then he would turn into, because he had almost... I mean, he was still young. I don't know how old he actually was, but he certainly acted more like a child. And he had this, not a stupidity to him, but an innocence. And he also had kind of limited experience to Earth. So when he would want to fly, he'd like turn into a plane, but it'd be this big like cartoon looking plane, or he'd even just turn into like a pterodactyl or something weird like that. He's always turning into like weird boats and shit. But anyway, yeah, I could go off on New Mutants for another hour. We should call it.
All right, I can participate again.
Yes.
Well, we're gonna wrap it up. Hopefully, Jay will be joining us on Friday. We will see. His job tends to pay a lot more than us, but making $1 pays more than we do. But that's okay. We do it because we love it. Thank you, everybody.
Well, there's also the fact that, this is the time of year for a few of us that business picks up. So it could be a very varied lineup from here until after Christmas.
Hey, same boat here, sir. So, thanks for listening, following us on Twitter at Unregimented Pod. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. Go to iTunes. Give us a rating. 5 stars. And like we said last episode, if you do 5 stars twice, it's like 10. Bookmark the Amazon link on ChristopherMedia.net. It doesn't cost you anything extra. We get a little kickback from there. We got the PayPal button. You can donate. Click through to on the HostGator banner too. They're the ones at hostChristopherMedia.net. Help them out too. Thank you everybody who listens, who downloads, and we will catch you on Friday.
Thanks. See you next time.
All right, later.
If you enjoy this show and want more people to know about it, head on over to iTunes, leave a comment, and rate it 5 stars. Make sure you like and share us on Facebook, and don't forget to follow us on Twitter. Just search for Christopher Media. Thank you in advance for supporting Christopher Media by clicking on the PayPal button and by clicking through to all the sponsors who support ChristopherMedia.net. Most importantly, we would like to take the time to extend an extra special thanks to you. Christopher Media could not exist without your support. Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net, and thank you for listening. Christopher Media. Let's make some noise. Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.